We'll have to apologize. They don't let me out of the office too often, so I'm usually a techie and don't get to do this stuff. So here we go. So I think it's actually pretty fitting that I'm following Sean's speech, because what I'm going to talk about, and I actually hope that uShip at some point in the future, is going to be exactly where Sabre is with the transportation industry around shipping, where trucks are, how they're moving, what their capacity is. So it all started, think about the last time you needed to move something large, a car, your house, not your actual house, but your household, you know, or bought something online that was over 150 pounds. How do you move that item? It's very frustrating. And about 12 years ago, Matt Chasen, our CEO, inherited a very, family heirloom armoire that he wanted to move from Ohio to Houston, Texas. And he looked online, did everything he could, and he basically at some point gave up and was not able to move this item. So fast forward 2 years later, and he was living in Seattle, got into Michaelis Business School at University of Texas, and went to go rent a truck, reserved a 9-foot truck, and they gave him a 20-foot truck. And he drove down all the way from Seattle all the way to Austin with 12 feet, 11 feet of spare capacity. And his fiancée at the time, he basically lectured her and said, "This is the most inappropriate thing I've ever done. I can't believe I'm driving this giant truck. I have to fix this problem." And what you're about to see, her in this video, basically, he lectured her the entire time and put together this business plan, went to business school, and won the Michaelis Business School award of $25,000 to then go and pitch his idea. So after Matt won the Michaelis Business School, he basically went on a roadshow pitching our business plan. And Benchmark Capital, the same people that funded eBay, funny enough, said, "Absolutely, let's do this." And so they jumped on very early on and have been a phenomenal supporter, and actually led to a partnership with eBay, where now we're basically working on a process right now where every item over 150 pounds will automatically get pricing data for shipping that item from zip code to zip code once you check out on eBay. We also had the unique fortune of being approached by a media company to do a reality TV show based off of following transporters all over the US. This was one of those times, like, is it going to be good publicity or bad publicity, or do we just accept of whatever happened? We typically get about 30 service provider registrations a day. In one day after Shipping Wars, we got more than 3,000. It tripled our business overnight, and they're now running 100 episodes strong, and it's now being distributed globally. And when you look at those opportunities in your business, don't hesitate to jump on them, because you never know what they're going to do. We also partner with other major marketplaces like Ritchie Brothers and Etsy. There's just basically any time we can find, and publish an API that someone can consume and needs shipping pricing information, we're going for it. So quickly, where we are, 2.5 million shippers have signed up, over 350,000 transportators all over the world, and over 500 million in shipping services have been transacted over our site. The coolest part, I think, is this, and now we know where every single truck is all over the US, what direction they're heading, how much capacity they have, and we can push them a load to say, "Hey, by the way, if you drive 5 miles off your route, there's a dog waiting to be moved from Houston to Dallas," or whatever it is. And we automatically have digital capacity for all of the transportation. In fact, 2 weeks ago I was looking, and we actually were for the first time on all 7 different continents, if you count the sailboat that was being moved down around the Arctic Circle. So very exciting growth for us, seeing where all this stuff is going. Completely shifting focus, and going back to my technical roots, and I apologize for the crudeness of the slide, but one of the things that we've done is, if it's painful, automate it. And so we push up to production more than 20 times a day changes to our APIs. We have, in less than 5 minutes, I can run an entire set of 1,500 tests in any environment and know with 100% knowledge if I'm breaking anything. Because 6 months, a year, these APIs, you never know how long they're going to live in the wild. As much as you can tell your clients to get off the old stuff, they don't. They have no motivation to if it's working. So invest early on to make sure that you have 100% regression on every single one of your APIs that's live. And don't underestimate that investing in DevOps is not the most important thing that you can do as a company when you're starting building out your APIs. We don't basically, we look at a change set, and it's not a question of if something's going to happen when when you deploy. At some point, you're going to deploy something, and it's going to go horribly wrong. So the smaller the change set, the lower that risk is. So if we're pushing up 5 lines of code, and if something goes wrong, we either can roll forward in 5 minutes, or roll back in in 30 seconds, and get off whatever version was happening. The way we kind of do it is we'll push out a deployment, and it will roll out to 5% of our population, and we'll monitor it for 5 minutes to make sure nothing catastrophic has happened, no revenue streams have been cannibalized, et cetera, and then slowly roll that out to 100% of our population. And we can do this all day, any day. In fact, one of our requirements for our internship program, on day 1, they have to have pushed up code to production as an intern. 3 months later, we decide who we get to hire out of those 25 interns, and we know who's successful and who's not. So any person, whether it be product, whether it be QA, or whether it be developers, from seniors to our interns, can push up code with the click of a button. I think that's it. Thanks.